Welcome to Manawaker Studios Flash Fiction Podcast. I'm CB Drogi. This week, Coffin Coffee Table by Vogel. I found the schematics for the coffin on the dining room table. What's this? He gave me a charming smile. Coffee table, I was thinking. I smiled back. Kinda spooky, but all right. It's got hinges on one side of the top so we can keep blankets and pillows inside. What, for sleeping in? No, for when we're watching movies and you fall asleep on the couch. It sounded so sweet, I had to believe it. The wood he picked was heavy and sturdy, not just plywood like I anticipated. That's going to be a beast to move. He frowned at the wood and nodded. Yeah, but it means we don't have to paint it. What about the edges? Oh, I'm getting some custom molding made, same wood, for the lid and the corners. You got this all planned out, huh? He shrugged. More or less, yeah. Should have worried about the less. Maybe the more, too. When the bolt of satin fabric arrived, I tried to tell the delivery driver that there must be a mistake. I didn't order purple satin. He swooped in from nowhere. Yeah, that's mine, thanks. After I closed the front door, I looked at him, my brow creased. What's that for? The inside of the wood's a little rough, and I don't want the blankets catching on it, so I figured I could whip up a lining. That's not as easy as you'd think. You want some help? No thanks, I've got this. He kissed my forehead. You look tired. Go back to bed. I was tired. I wasn't normally up at this time of day. It was just after nightfall when I woke up, and I luxuriated in the soft sheets, stretching my arms out to the sides as I regained consciousness. My left arm felt leaden, just before it thumped against something solid. I fumbled for the switch on my bedside lamp, surprised at my clumsiness. I turned the knob but shoved the lamp off the table in the same gesture. My earlier trip downstairs had taken more out of me than I'd expected. The Coffin coffee table was on his side of the bed, in the bed. An IV line in my left arm trailed through a small hole between the hinges. No. I became aware of the blood leaving my body even as I reached to pull the needle out of my artery. My hand froze when I saw the note propped on the lid of the coffin. Joining you in the dark, my love. I'd told him no 1,000,000 times. It wasn't the life I wanted for him, for us. Undead couples don't last. I pulled the line from my arm, pressing my thumb over the hole the needle left behind. The coffin's lid was heavy. He lay inside, arms crossed over his chest like a cheesy movie, the last of the blood he'd stolen from me slipping out of the IV line. I lifted his eyelid to see how his pupils reacted to the light. They contracted like a human's. Not lightning quick like mine. The transformation wasn't complete, but it was far enough along. This is not yours to take, I murmured. It was mine to give, and I said no. He'd always kept stakes in his bedside table. To defend me, he said. On my more cynical days, I suspected he also kept them in case I lost control. Either way, they were handy now. But I moved him to the bathtub first. Intentions aside, it was a gorgeous coffee table he'd built. This has been Coffin Coffee Table, written by Vogel, and originally appearing in The Journal of Compressed Creative Arts. Manawaker Studios Flash Fiction Podcast is supported by patrons on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/Manawaker to find out more. The Flash Fiction Podcast theme song is by Kevin MacLeod. Manawaker Studios' Director of Dice is Ben Baston. The podcast is produced, edited, and narrated by me, CB Droege. You can follow me on Twitter at CBDROEGE. Thanks for listening. On the next installment of Flash Fiction Podcast, the woman walked over to the girl and leaned against the well. "You have seen these men?" "No, ma'am. We hide in the room underneath our house when they come.